Yo, what's good, everybody? It's Vic here. Today is Wednesday, May 20th, and I'll be going over today's trade recap. Sadly, we took an L today. Let me show y'all P&L down 2,660 on the day. Quite unfortunate because I thought today was gonna be such a banger. Looked super obvious, looked super clean, but we were unable to capitalize. And we still did follow our process, but instead of like just because I follow my process, I could have still like done things better in terms of like I knew something was fishy, but I didn't listen. Yeah, let me break this down right here. So coming into market open, like I previously said the other day, I higher time frame is still bullish. And yesterday we were bearish, but after this bearish market structure, but after yesterday, we're holding on to this weekly gap and we are respecting bullish and we're disrespecting bearish. So I want longs. I'm not really there's no higher time frame bearish gaps up until up here. So I really don't want shorts. Coming into market open, we were trading above this unfilled 1 hour bull gap. And we were also trading above a unfilled 15-minute bull gap. So what I initially wanted to see was market manipulate into one of these to then continue higher, right? So I wanted to see something like this and continue higher. I wanted to see something like this and continue higher, right? Because as we can see, we've been leaving this Asia high for a little bit. We haven't. So this is my draws, right? Pre-market, boom, boom. We failed to take it out time after time again. So this is like, for me, this like prime draws I want to target. So coming into market open, right, a little bit before market open, we come put in some tap into this unfilled 15-minute gap, and this is where I went wrong. Usually I like to see us manipulate into it a unfilled gap or sweep liquidity after market opens, and this is why I usually want to wait for that. But we have this minuscule 5 minute 15-minute gap tap, right? And at this point in time, ES swept its 30-minute intermediate low as well. So like there is reason for ES to now distribute, but like also in my head at this point, I'm looking at ES. Like if you spot the difference, NQ at this point looks like it's ready to distribute, and though ES has swept its intermediate low, giving it reason to now distribute, ES just still looks like it wants lower. It doesn't look like it's ready to now continue higher, right? And I was thinking about that and I understood that, but it's like in my head, because the draws were right here and we had these high intermediate highs right here, I was thinking that maybe ES would lead us. But like I will say, like, even though I follow my process, I will say this wasn't the best bid. I was a little bit too eager because, again, like in the past, I faded taps like this because it's just so sussy. Like, if this is the tap it wants to give me, I shouldn't be. I should have won it. So, but technically, it still doesn't meet my criteria. But like, again, like this is not the best according to my standard. And maybe if we were back at all time highs, I would take something like this again with the minuscule minuscule gap tap, right? But in reality, it was sussy to me. I understood that, but I felt again like because the draws were right here, I was okay with like taking that chance. But and I was wrong on this one, so it is what it is. And as you can see, we get instantly stopped out. We get stop rated. Like man, this would have been so clean if I would have faded this. So sussy. Then at this point in time, and a lot of people weren't able to take this because as you can see in a little bit, or I'm gonna show, we create this 2 minute gap now. I mean, there's a 1 minute gap, but the 2 minute ends up being the highest time frame inversion. But the thing is, at this point in time, it didn't inverse, right? So this looks like that. Like this is such good strut. Like the rejection, we're holding this 15-minute gap. There's a Pediarite SMT with ES at this point. So ES came down, touched its unfilled. What happened to my drawings on ES? Like I already drew these, but for some reason they're not here. ES came down, tapped into this 1 hour gap. NQ failed to do so. Um, So this is like a A plus setup. A plus might even have been better than yet. Nah, I like the weekly gaps from yesterday, but like this is like an A plus setup to me, right? But Asia High still being the draw. So boom. But in reality, most people would not have gotten entry on this because technically it didn't inverse. But in live time I was watching, to me it looked like, again, this is iffy because according to my rules, technically I should have pulled it if I did take it. But like because the again, Peter Ray SMT holding this 15, we had no closure, right? To me, everything is screaming bullish. I can't say for sure if I would have held it or I would have pulled it, but all I know is that this was extremely clean. Stops, body closed, targeting Asia High as the draw. I would like to think I would have taken something like this. I would have taken this, but who knows? Who can really say? But like this was the other opportunity. It was so clean, bro, and so sucks that I got instantly stop rated on the first one. Again, like I thought we would instantly I thought we would move from there, but again, I can't. I could have done better managing and um yeah, just taking this trade. I could have done better on this part. I knew it was sussy, but it is what it is. I'm not too mad. It does suck, bro, because it's like, bro, I'm not gaining. It feels like I'm not gaining any progress on these accounts. Back down 1R on these trades, but as you can see, end up coming re-sweeping these again. Um, and we had some type of inverses. Maybe some people took these kind of big stops, but after just taking Asia High, do you think we? I don't know, but that's I'm not too worried about that. I didn't take none of that, but. And we end up just running the rest of the day. And yeah, it sucks. The draw was right. I get stop rated. And we run. Let me show y'all P and L on the accounts. On Trade of 8. One second, one second, one second. Boom. As you can see, 531 on the day, down across all accounts. Yeah, 49.5. With essentially 1,500 drawdown left. So again, in the position where we were, in the same position where I was at the start of the week. Hopefully, if I'm being honest, I predict one of the next 2 days to be a no trade day. So I'm hoping I can at least end the week off, at least break even. But then that's annoying. Like, let me not complain. Let me just, like, I get paid when I get paid. But like the fact that been 3 weeks and I'm finna be at the same spot, like, it's kind of sucks. But gotta keep grinding, gotta keep stacking days, control what I can control today. I controlled what I could control, but I feel like I could have still did a better job. Like the trade I took wasn't uber, like, you feel me? I'm not mad at it. I follow my process, but like for being what's the word? A smudge for detail, I could have done a better job being more detail oriented because again, like the minuscule 5 gap tap, like the pros and cons, I think more outweighed um the cons on this trade. And the reason I say that again, um the reason I say that again, the minuscule, let me go back. The minuscule 15-minute gap tap, which also came after market open. ES looking not at a place of distribution yet. ES still looking lower, looking heavy for lower. Yeah, that's really it. Versus the only pros of this cons were how close we were to these draws. So yeah, the cons outweighed the pros on this one. I'll do a better job of that next time. Um, Still excited for the rest of the week. Hopefully we're able to get 2 bids off. Um, and hopefully we can end off the week at least a break even or up 1R. We'll see, but that's really all I got for today. That's today's trade recap. Yeah, I'm still excited. not worried. Hopefully, yeah, like I said, hopefully tomorrow's a better day. Hopefully we can get back in the win column. I really, again, like it'd be so. I feel like it'd be so hard to go on a run. I'd be saying, I want to go on a run. I want to go on a run, but like, oh man. But this is on me though. I should have faded this. Still part of the model. Still follow my process, so I'm not too upset. But yeah, I should have faded it. And that's the thing, bro. Last week, Wednesday, when I did break my rules, I would have like, if this was last week's scenario, I would have retaken this and it would have been a winner, right? I would enter right here off this 2 minute or fake 2 minute IFEG, and it would have been a winner. Versus last week when I did break my rules, I didn't get rewarded for it. But if I would have broken it this week, I would have been rewarded for it. It's crazy how life works on that. Like that sucks, but like it is what it is. Because I told myself I would not repeat the same mistake I made last week. Because what type of person and trader would I be if I did the exact same thing the next following week? The same thing. I get instantly stopped out. Even though I really like to play re-enter, right? Because I told myself, like, I've been sitting on me breaking my rules all week. I was like, damn, like, I really did that. And I would have done it again. I can't do that to myself. I couldn't do that to myself. So it is what it is. I feel like this is a learning moment for me, and I was able to pass the test and not taking another bid. And hopefully, I'm rewarded later down the line for that. I don't know how, but I hope I am, and I hope God's watching that, man. Anyway, that's really all I have for today. Again, like we're on this journey together, man. We finna get rich as shit. There's no doubt about that, bro. Like, just a matter of time. Again, like hopefully I can go on a run. I need bangers that again, it all starts with stringing. Like in reality, to start going on a run, like I need to from here, like starting tomorrow, I gotta string together like 2-3 wins in a row minimum at first. I can't keep doing the win loss, especially when I'm trading 1-to-ones for the most part, right? Um, yeah, I just gotta take better bids. This wasn't the greatest bid. I don't think it was bad. If I had a rate, I'd probably say this was like a B minus. Jaws was still there again. Minuscule gap tap. Yeah, B minus. I wouldn't grade it a C. I think it was definitely valid for some sort. Again, the jaws were there, and I thought the jaws would be more important, but it looked like it wasn't. Um, that's really all I got to say for today. We finna be rich as shit. I love y'all. You, Vic out, man.